Hello, this is Instant Checkout, and my name is Kajah Ram. I work for San Mateo County Libraries, and I am with my colleague Debbie Huey.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Kajah. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, Debbie. Today, I would like to talk about lynda.com and Udemy Academy. These are kind of course tutorial learning platforms. Debbie, can you talk a little bit about how these platforms work and what people might want to use them for?
Yeah, so like Kajah said, Udemy and lynda.com are all about online courses. And what you can do is just, learn anything from baking sourdough bread to learning how to program Python or all those programming languages. So yeah, there's like a lot of great content. The range of subjects is really wide, and Kajah's going to go over that.
Yeah, and when I'm looking for instructions on how to do things, sometimes if it's really quick or casual, I like going on YouTube or maybe some other video streaming services and just seeing what I can find. A bunch of random users are offering content. Some of it's good, some of it isn't. But when I'm looking for something more in-depth, comprehensive, and has real expertise behind it, I tend to use one of these two platforms. And that's because both platforms, as far as I'm aware, Debbie, they tend to vet their instructors. They're professors, they have a background in the field. They usually have some sort of background in teaching, whether formal or informal. And you can always look up their information. They tend to have reputations. So I think there's just a higher chance that you're getting better information using these services because, they're kind of held to that kind of standard.
And I'd say the courses are definitely a lot more comprehensive than a YouTube video. We'll go over like the whole format of it, but you'll just see like how every subject is broken down into like different chapters. And I think it works out really well for learning.
Exactly. Let's jump into it, Debbie. I'm going to start sharing my screen. There we go. Now, the way you would access these, just like with a lot of our other services we've talked about, is through our website, smcl.org. I have my screen up here on the home page. I usually start with Browse. I go to Online Resources, click on Online Resources, and then there's a lot of different ways to look through our online resources, but for us, we're talking about learning tools, specifically courses and tutorials. Now, there's going to be more than what we're talking about today. You can see ABC Mouse and a few of the other things, but let's start with lynda.com. Debbie's going to tell you guys, as usual, how to access these things with your library card, but I'm going to jump right into the fun stuff. So this is the homepage for lynda.com, and it's a pretty straightforward interface, but the place you want to start out with so you can see what they're offering is right up here near the search bar. Whoa, that's a pretty wide array of subject matters, right? We have audio and music, we have business, and a lot of the stuff, I don't know, Debbie, wouldn't you say a lot of this stuff is sort of career-oriented? These are career skills?
Yeah, I would say so. If you're looking to change careers or you're just, wanting to explore what's out there, you can explore within these courses. Like if you ever wanted to be, get into IT or you can totally just dig in and see what it takes to become, in the IT business. Network administrator, there's all kinds of great little courses that you can just take just to learn a lot and check things out.
Mm-hmm. And they also have things like photography, art, video game design. Their video game design information is pretty comprehensive, whether you want to do the 3D art, excuse me, or whether you want to do something more along the lines of programming. A lot of people, though, that we talk to, Debbie, I know they're just interested in like, how do I use all the bells and whistles in Excel, because that's something just not a lot of people know how to use every aspect of it. So I clicked on Excel, and then we see here new releases, and then we can also look at learning paths. Do you want to talk a little bit about what learning paths are, Debbie?
Yeah, learning paths are just kind of, I'd say like kind of curated playlists of different courses that are put together in order to get you to a level of, comfort or of almost expertise on whatever subject matter that you pick.
Exactly. And so let's start with something. Let's jump into a training. This is a relatively short one. This is Learning Excel Online. So this is, if you have Excel from one of your Microsoft Office suites and you want to learn about how to use it online, this is how you do it. Now on the left side here, we have a sort of table of contents, because you don't want to have to try to look through the video to find what you're looking for. So everything's kind of marked here. The timings are marked, like this is 2 minutes and 11 seconds where you're talking about sheet views. And of course, you probably have some knowledge about this stuff, so you can skip forward if you need to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the video is here.
Depending on which subscription you have to Office 365, you may have noticed that Microsoft have recently rolled...
Pretty cool voice, so I'm into that. Now, one thing me and Debbie both really like about Lynda, I would say, is that it has a transcript, and it's an active transcript. So while the professor or the narrator or the teacher is talking, it follows along and highlights. Let's take a look.
Rolled out a new feature called the Simplified Ribbon, which appears here at the very top of the screen. For most of you, this feature...
For those of you who prefer taking information in text form, this can be pretty nice, kind of as a read along. And then Debbie also showed me the trick where you can click on a link and it'll take you to that point in the video, or not the link, but that part of the transcript.
If you like this new view, then that's it. Your browser will automatically remember your selection for...
And so it's pretty straightforward that way. And I know for a lot of their courses, they offer like certificates to show that you've completed the whole course. Some of them are really long, Debbie. Wasn't there one that was like 31 hours, one of the learning paths?
There's some that are like 90 hours. So really, really comprehensive, if you aren't going to school, but, you want like an alternative to just, getting introduction or even just learning in depth on certain things. There's a lot of content on here.
Exactly. And those are like kind of directly relevant job skills. And then you also have some fun stuff like Pro Tools, which I talked about before. For me, Debbie, this is something I maybe have an interest in, but I definitely don't have time for it right now. So I can just simply add these to my playlist. If I see the video here, I can click on a plus button and just kind of add it to one of my playlists. Maybe I can just add it to my normal one. And then it'll be there for me later when I want to look at it. And the other thing I can do is I can go over here and I can look at my playlist, but I can also look at my history. This is my account information. And it's that simple. I think that's all you really need to know about how to use lynda.com. And again, just always come to this drop-down list to see what sort of things they offer, because there's a lot of options. And I think it's time, Debbie, to move over to Udemy. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's check it out.
All right. So now, Debbie, what would you say separates Udemy from something like lynda.com? They have similar platforms, even similar interfaces, but what's kind of special about Udemy?
So Udemy, we'll have a lot of the similar programs and courses like, learning Microsoft Office or learning how to be, in IT or whatnot. But a couple things that we noticed that don't appear in Lynda is that personal development, category. So you got, different things like health and fitness. You've got meditation and yoga, life skills. It varies quite a bit.
Exactly. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Debbie, is the value of these programs. If you wanted to access the courses on Udemy by yourself without the library access, or if you wanted to access it from Lynda, you would have to pay. And in the case of Lynda, it would be, what was it, Debbie? I think it was like a $30 monthly subscription,
Yep,
right?
$29.99 per month.
All right.
But with your library card, it's $3.
$3. And then for Udemy, I think the model is you pay by course. So we were looking at the website the other day, and I think it was somewhere $12.99. And I think you said you saw some as much as like $50.
I've seen some over $100, and that's just for individual courses. It's not for, you know, the whole collection of programs. It's just for one. So, but with your library card, you can access it for the low price of $0.
$3.
Yep.
So one other thing that I think is pretty cool about Udemy is that they have reviews on their site. Lynda does have customer feedback, which is pretty nice. You can tell them what you thought of the course, but on Udemy, you can actually see what users have rated it. So in the case of, say, the art and science of drawing basic skills that we're looking at here, 4.6, average of 7,188 users. So there's a pretty good chance I'll probably like this one. And if I click on the actual course itself, when I scroll down, I can actually see reviews. I can see the breakdown of the reviews. It kind of reminds me of the Amazon layout. And I can see what people said. You know, it might help me when I'm shopping. Because, you know, whatever course you pick, presumably, right, you're going to be spending a lot of time with this person and in this course. So this is probably a good thing to shop around with. And then the other thing is you can also see, just like with Lynda, you can see the instructor's background and see whether they have the sort of experience that might help you out. Let's see. And then when you're ready to enroll, let's see. Debbie, have you found any particularly good Udemy courses?
Well, me in particular, I like doing digital art and drawing. So I actually found some pretty neat courses on the subject. So I'm learning how to use a particular piece of software that I installed on my iPad. So that's been cool.
That's really cool. And I know we've talked about using the drawing program Procreate, and I've seen that available here on Udemy. So again, Udemy has a lot of the career-oriented courses you'd expect, but they also have a lot of the fun stuff. They have that one, How to Bake Sourdough Bread, which I've been looking at. And it's just a little bit more reliable than sort of looking around on the internet, I would say. And you can see the interface is similar here. You have the table of contents, and you can also have a place for your notes, and you can check your progress. So I would advise people to just use both of these if they really want to check out what's available for learning. Now, Debbie, do you think
the biggest elephant in the room when we start talking about drawing?
Well, that's a cool little living room there. But I think the gist of both of these, Debbie, you know, they're kind of like really well-vetted video courses, and you can access them for free with your library card.
Yep, and you can, and the neat thing is you can watch them at your own leisure, at your own time, and it'll always leave off from where you, or it'll always keep the place of where you left off so that you can continue it on later.
Exactly. It'll save your place for you, so you don't have to worry about where you were. And then you can always, of course, go back and review a lesson if you need to. Now, I'm going to turn it over to you, Debbie, so you can explain to people how to easily access these programs with their library card.
Sure thing. Thanks for showing us, you know, how cool Udemy and Lynda is. And now you might be wondering, what do you need to access lynda.com and Udemy? Well, you need a library card, and not just any library card, but a San Mateo County Libraries card. So if you live in one of these cities listed here, then you should have a San Mateo County Libraries card. And if you have this card, you have access to Lynda and Udemy. So you should be good to go to start learning all your different courses. And like Kajah showed you, the courses and tutorials page on smcl.org, you're just gonna scroll down until you see that lynda.com. And you're gonna click on that, and it takes you to a page that looks like this. All you have to do is enter your library card number and your PIN, and they'll just verify that you are indeed a member of San Mateo County Libraries. Once it does that, then you're just gonna create an account for lynda.com, especially if you haven't been on lynda.com before. You're just going to click on that no, I've never had an account. And all you got to do is add your name, add your email address, and you're good to go. You can start learning. If you prefer lynda.com, or doing all your courses on a smartphone or a tablet, you can download the app for lynda.com, except it's not called lynda.com in the app format. It's actually called LinkedIn Learning. So just as a side note, LinkedIn, the company of LinkedIn, they acquired lynda.com content. So they're keeping it all on that LinkedIn Learning app. If you're going to be looking at it on your smartphone or your tablet. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you're going to go to your Apple App Store. If you have an Android device, then you're going to go to your Google Play Store. And again, you're going to search for LinkedIn Learning. And from there, you're going to have all the access to all the cool lynda.com content that Kajah was talking about. If you want Udemy, then you can go to our courses and tutorials page on smcl.org, and you can click on that Udemy by Gail link, and it'll take you straight to Udemy. I'll show you that in a bit. But if you do prefer the apps, you can just click on that View Available Apps so that you can download those on your smartphone or tablet. On the website, though, it's going to ask you to sign in with your library card number. And again, it's just verifying that you are a member of the San Mateo County Libraries. And it's going to take you to this page. Once it verifies that, you're going to click on that sign in and create a Udemy account. Keep note that you do need a Google or a Microsoft account to sign into Udemy. So if you have a Gmail account, you're good to go. You can use that to sign into Udemy. If you have an Outlook account, or MSN account, you can sign into Udemy using that. And if you have any trouble, logging in or creating your accounts for Udemy or Lynda, you can always access help from our customer care team. And you can text us at 650-851-0147. Or you can call us at 833-YES-SMCL, and we'll have a friendly staff member ready to answer your questions. And we do have customer care hours. Currently, they run mostly from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., except on Tuesdays we are open later until 7 p.m., and on Sundays we are closed. So you can text us or call us during those times, and most of the time you'll be able to get a human being on the other end. And then finally, we have one-on-one tech appointments. So if you want just a 45 minutes of time with a friendly staff member who can help you with your tech questions, you can sign up for that on smcl.org. And that's how you can get connected with Udemy and lynda.com.
Thank you, Debbie. That's a really useful thing to be able to learn how to do. And what Debbie just showed you, if you haven't seen other episodes, it's going to be applicable to a lot of the services that are available on our online platform. So definitely just have your library card ready, and in a lot of cases, a valid email address so you can just access any of the things that look interesting to you. Now, we have a lot of virtual programming content that we create every week. And if you go to smcl.org, you'll be able to find previous episodes of this show, Instant Checkout, as well as the other programs that we've had, Mango Languages with David and Company, Open Labs con Ricardo in Espanol, and many other wonderful things. So just head to our page and look at the virtual programming content. There'll be a lot. There'll be a lot of content to enjoy, and with this show we will also be kind of putting it on there and uploading it, so just keep checking the website. We're always trying to get new material for you. We want to thank you for spending your time learning about these great platforms with me and Debbie, and we can't wait till we see you again. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.